Okay, next we're going to talk about how to add images and manipulate them. So one of the easiest ways to add an image is to go to this Add Image button. You can upload something directly from your computer. So if you have something saved on your, on your hard drive on your desktop, you can upload directly from there. You can also search the web, add from your drive, photos by URL, or from your computer camera. So a lot of options to add images. So first, I'm going to look at search the web. You'll see I've already typed in dog when I was preparing to make this video. So I typed in dog, enter, and I'm going to click on this. It'll automatically tell me, you want to insert this one. You can insert multiple. Let's get a couple doggos here. Okay, and then click insert. So it gave me all these different dogs that I'm going to, and they're all selected at one time, right? So they're all like, see how like this one's selected and that one's selected. I'm going to make them all a little bit smaller, so I'm going to click and drag. I'm going to hold on Shift. If you hold Shift, it will keep the correct proportions for the image. So if I click and drag and hold Shift, the dog is going to look nice, right? If I don't hold Shift and I try to expand it, the dog could look all stretched out. So to make sure it doesn't look stretched out, you can hold on Shift, click and drag, and let go, and it will be it'll look right. Because it's always kind of weird, when you get an image and you do that and the dog's all, or the image or whatever it is all stretched out and looking weird. Okay, so we have these 4 images. I'm going to click off of it to deselect all of them. I'm going to click and drag these cuties are over here. So here I have these dogs. Okay, so I have these images now, and now what I want to do is I want to manipulate them. Okay, so one thing I want to do is I'm going to crop the image. So I'm going to double click on this little golden retriever. Notice when I double click it, these little black bars will appear. That is how I crop it. I'm basically going to cut out part of the picture. I'm going to crop out everything but this cute little puppy. And now all of this around the margin won't show up. When I deselect it, I'm left with this little golden retriever. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to click and drag this black bar. So I'm just going to crop out some of the background there. This one's already sufficiently cropped. And I'm just, for fun, I'm going to crop this one down like that. Okay. All right, so that's cropping. Next, I'm going to mask the images. So let's say I'm going to click on the image. So again, notice that when I click on an object, a shape, a text box, an image, my toolbar expands to have all these other options for me. So what I want to do is, here's the crop image. I already cropped it, so if I click on that, it's going to give me the same thing. Now what I want to do, instead of cropping it, normally I'm going to click it next to crop image. There's a little arrow that says mask image. Click on that. And now I can change my square or rectangular cropping area to a shape. So click on the arrow, go down to shapes, and I can click on a, so I'm going to drag over. I'm going to click on a little heart. So now my image is cropped with a heart shape, and it's kind of cutting off his head. So I want to modify a little bit. So I'm going to click and drag it, move the image around. It's not going to be perfect. It's really for demonstration purposes only. So I can, again, I can click it, click on the arrow, go down here. I can click on this, I can mask it. If I double click on this, notice that I can rotate the image as well. Maybe not exactly useful, but it's something that you can do if you want to, if you need to make something fit. So here I can move the mask without changing the cropping. You can change the mask around. Oops, and rotate it a little bit. So just a little bit of, oops. There you go. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So what I wanted to do is now I can click and move that image to make it fit within the triangle. So really, doing this is really getting some, everything you do in drawing, especially when you're starting this just experience. So like, oh, can I do that? Can I modify that the way I want to? So obviously this isn't probably what you'd want to do. So I want to maybe shrink it again so I can get this, this dog centered in the triangle. And I want to rotate it to get it to be upright again. So that's basically how to mask those images. Another really common way to mask something is, another just way to make an image look more nice. Instead of having these like really hard 90-degree angles, I suggest maybe doing the rounded, and having it rounded just makes it look like it has a little bit more polish and presentation to it. So I definitely recommend doing that. Is at least rounding the edges when you're having when you put graphics into a document or into a drawing or a poster. Okay, so there's that. Another way to modify the images in drawing is to click on the image. You'll notice you have format options. Click that. And you have a lot of different options again to customize in size and rotation, position, recolor. I don't usually mess with these too much. Recolor, if you wanted to, you could make it a black and white. You can mess with all these kind of dramatic kind of color changes. Move my window here. You can make it black and white. You can make it sepia, I think. So I want to make it sepia, and then go down here. Oops. And then I want to adjust it to make it a little bit maybe more light. So you can adjust the lightness and the contrast to get your picture looking exactly how you want it to look. Another thing, click on the image, and then you can go to, minimize this, go to drop shadow. You can turn the drop shadow on. This is another kind of layer of polish to your designs. So notice so watch the edge of the heart. If I turn drop shadow off, it goes away. Okay, and then it basically looks like it's draggable. It looks like, I don't know, it just looks more like a more solid object to me. You can change the angle of this. You can change how far away that shadow is from the object itself. You can change the angle. So where is the light source coming from? Creating the shadow. You can change the blur radius to make it fade out a little bit more. You can change the color, okay, of the shadow. So those are basically all the ways. And again, one of my main tips for Google Drawing is really just to play. Once you kind of know about all these options, just play around. You can't really break anything. Really kind of just make a throwaway Google Drawing that you're just gonna it's a sandbox, a playground. Just really try to experiment and see what you can do with modifying these images, shapes, and anything else in Google Drawing.